Dear friends, welcome to the PowerPoint presentation of Physics for Class 12. In this session, we will study about current and resistivity described in chapter number 3 under current electricity. The details of topics covered are electric current, current density and drift speed, Ohm's law, resistance, conductivity and resistivity, types of resistors and color codes, conductors, semiconductors and superconductors. Please note down all the points discussed in this lecture so that it will be helpful for you in your examinations. Welcome once again. Electric current. Current. Current through a given area of conductor is the net charge passing per unit time through the area. If a potential difference V is applied across a conductor of area of cross section A and length L, having number of free electrons per unit volume as N, then flow of charge called electric current is given by I is equal to Q by T. So we have two equations. I is equal to dq by dt when charge is varying. This will be equation 3.1a. I can also be represented as I equals q over t when charges are flowing steadily. Here dq is the amount of positive charge that passes in time dt through a hypothetical surface that cuts across the conductor. The direction of electric current is taken as the direction in which positive charge carriers would move. Please see the figure on the right hand side. A number of types of currents are shown. A steady current which does not vary with time. You see, this is the figure A. Here on the y-axis we have current and x-axis is time. So this current IA in the A has a steady value constant throughout the time. There is no variation. I is the current and flowing through time t. So steady current, it does not vary with time. This is case A. Then in case 2 we have varying currents whose magnitude varies with time as shown in the figure. See, here is a time on x-axis and current are three different forms of current are given in curves C and D. A straight line under the figure B. So here also in the straight line the current is increasing with time. Here it is a sinusoidal wave or sine wave which is varying in systematic according to equation sine omega t, and this is varying randomly with time. So these three are varying currents whose magnitude varies with time as shown in the figure. The SI unit of current is ampere. 1 ampere is equal to 1 coulomb per second. Electromotive force. To maintain a steady current, we must have a closed circuit in which an external agency moves an electric charge from lower to a higher potential energy. Thus, the work done per unit charge by the source in taking a charge from a lower to higher potential energy, that is from one terminal of the source to the other, is called electromotive force. Normally, current flows when a battery is connected through a circuit. We will study in detail in our next slides. So current is given by, please remember, current is given by I is equal to dq by dt, or steady state it is I is equal to q by t. current density and drift speed. Electric current per unit area of cross section is called the electric current density. Please see the figure on the right hand side. Here there is a conductor, an element, a metallic element whose length is L, and it is connected to a battery. The cross section area of this element is A. Here there is a drift velocity due to charge carriers. The negative carriers are moving from right to left because a positive side is connected here and these are attracted towards this side. And similarly, positive charge carriers will move from left side to right side. There is an electric field from left to right. L is the length of the conductor. So, electric current per unit area of cross section, this is the cross section, is called electric current density. Current I is related to current density J. J is a vector by I is equal to integral J into dA. dA is the surface element of area of cross section. Integrating and rewriting, we can write by definition current density is equal to current by area, that is electric current per unit area. Let this be equation 3.2a. Or it is also given by I is equal to integral J, where J is the current density, into dA. This is equation 3.2. So, where dA is a vector perpendicular to the surface element of area dA and integral is taken over any surface cutting across the conductor. Vector J has the same direction as the velocity of the moving charges if they are positive. So, J is directed, if positive charges are moving from left to right, then the J also has got a velocity moving, J also has the same direction as the velocity of moving charges, positive charges. Vector has opposite direction if they are negative. If negative charges are moving from right to left, then the direction of J is from left to right. Drift speed and charge carriers. If an electric field is applied across a conductor, the free electrons experience a force in the opposite direction of electric field and move in the direction of force. So, this is the negative field connected here to the conductor and positive end is connected here. Electrons experience a negative field here and move and in the opposite direction of E. The average velocity of movement of electrons in presence of an external field in a conductor is called drift velocity Vd in the direction of V. If Ne is the carrier density, that is number of electrons into the charge is the carrier density, the Vd, velocity Vd is related to current density by the equation J is equal to Ne, that is the carrier density into the drift velocity Vd. This is the relationship between current density and drift velocity. This is equation 3.2. Here rearranging, drift velocity Vd is given by the equation Vd equals J divided by Ne. This is simply we are retaining Vd and we are bringing this to the denominator. So in the numerator we have J and in the denominator we have Ne. This is equation 3.2c. So, and Vd can also be written as I over NE into A, because J we can write as the current per unit area. Therefore, J will be equal to I by A. Therefore, VD equals I over NE into A. This is equation 3.2. Hence, VD and J can be written in three different forms. One is J equals NE into VD, drift velocity. That is, another form is VD is equal to J by NE. Yet another form is VD equals I over NE into A. These equations will be useful in solving numerical problems. Please remember them. Ohm's law. Ohm's law states that the potential difference V applied to a device is always proportional to current I through the device. That is, if you connect a potential difference V across a circuit and the current flowing through the circuit is I, then Ohm's law states that the potential difference is proportional to the current. Here in this equation, V is the potential difference, I is the current through the circuit. So, according to Ohm's law, V is proportional to I, or removing this constant of a proportionality sign, we can write V is equal to I into R. That is, voltage or potential difference is equal to current into resistance. Let this be equation 3.3. This is simply the Ohm's law. Here, please see the graph here on the right hand side. Current is drawn or tabulated on the x-axis and y is given on the y-axis. As we increase the current, the voltage also increases, or inversely, if we increase the voltage, the current also increases. That means voltage is directly proportional to the current and the constant of proportionality is R. A conducting material obeys Ohm's law when resistivity is independent of magnitude and direction of applied electric field. So, for conductors, V is directly proportional to I. All homogeneous materials, conductors and semiconductors obey Ohm's law within some range of electric field. The semiconductors sometimes obey Ohm's law and sometimes do not obey Ohm's law. This we will study in chapter 10 and 11. Here we are confined to only conductors where voltage is directly proportional to the current. However, if field is too strong, there are departures from Ohm's law. Resistivity R, resistance R and resistivity rho. Resistance of a conductor. Resistance is the property of a conductor due to which it opposes the flow of current through it. The resistance R of a conductor is defined as R is equal to V by I. So we had studied in the previous slide, voltage or potential difference is proportional to the current, and now we have retained R, that is the proportionality constant, R as R is equal to V by I. This is the definition of R. That is, resistance is the property of a conductor due to which it opposes the flow of current through it. The resistance R of a conductor is defined as R is equal to V by I, where V is the potential difference across the conductor and I is the current. The SI unit of resistance is ohms. 1 ohm is equal to 1 volt per ampere. A conductor whose function is to provide a specified resistance is called a resistor. Resistor is a conductor which opposes the flow of current, and the item or the material is called a resistor, a conductor. The diagram of the resistor symbol, circuit symbol, is shown in the figure above. So we have three different forms of the same equation. We had studied V is proportional to I, that is V is equal to IR. This is the equation repeated here as 3.4c. This can also be written as R is equal to retaining R V by I. The same equation written in a different form where we had given R, the value of R. Similarly, we can write for I also. If we bring I to the on the left hand side and R in the denominator, we can write I is equal to V by R. So, resistivity, voltage and current are related by the equation R is equal to V by I, equation 3.4a, and I is equal to V by R, equation 3.4b, and V is equal to IR 3.4c. These relationships are also used extensively in solving circuit problems. Now, having defined resistance, current, voltage, potential difference, we will study another property called resistivity. Resistivity is related to the properties of the material and it is represented by symbol rho. Resistivity, rho, is the property of the material, whereas resistance was the property of the circuit. So rho is equal to E by J, that is the field divided by the current density. This is the definition of resistivity. Resistivity of a metal is also given by rho is equal to m divided by E square n into tau, where n is the number of electrons per unit volume. Tau is the mean time between collision of an electron with the atoms of the metal. M is the mass of an electron and E is the charge. The unit of rho is ohm meter or ohm.m. So the relationships are, for the case of resistivity rho, rho is equal to E by J. This is equation 3.4d. This is also written in terms of charge, number of electrons and mean time of collision and mass as rho is equal to m divided by E square n into tau. This is equation 3.4e. So repeating what we have studied in this section is 3 formulae for resistance and 2 formulae for resistivity. Resistivity is the property of the material, whereas resistance is the property of a conductor which opposes the flow of current. It is resistance is in terms of current and voltage. Resistivity is in terms of the physical constant. Conductivity. Conductivity is the reciprocal of resistivity. In the previous section, we had studied about the resistivity. Its reciprocal is conductivity. Conductivity is represented by a symbol sigma, that is equal to 1 over rho. This is the definition of conductivity. Please remember, sigma is equal to 1 over rho is the conductivity. The SI unit of sigma is ohm meter to the power of minus 1. It is called mhos. Mhos per meter. It is reverse of ohms. Mhos. SI unit of sigma is ohm meter to the power of minus 1. We know resistivity equals E by J from the equation 3.4d. Therefore, J is equal to E by rho. From this equation, we are writing J is equal to E by rho, or J is equal to 1 by rho is sigma. Therefore, J is equal to sigma E. Conductance is the reciprocal of resistance. So, conductivity is the reciprocal of resistivity. Conductance is the reciprocal of resistance and its unit is mho. Let us write equations for conductivity. So, conductivity is equal to 1 over rho. This is 3.5a and rho is equal to E by J. This is equation 3.5b. Current density J also can be written as J is equal to E by rho 3.c equation, or J is equal to sigma E. Now we will write the relationship between resistance and resistivity. We have studied what is resistance separately, and we have also studied resistivity separately. Now let us develop the relationship between resistance and resistivity. We know that E is equal to V by L, that is EMF is equal to voltage per length. Voltage per length is the V, and we know that E is equal to V by L, where L is the length of the conductor and J is equal to current per area, per unit area. Therefore, from the previous equations, we are writing this equation 3.5b, we are repeating here as E by J. This is 3.5b also, and substituting the value of E as V by L, this relationship, and J equals I by A. In this equation we get rho, we are retaining as it is, equals E by J. We are repeating this equation. So E is V by L and J we are retaining as 1 over J. Hence V by L into 1 over J is nothing but I by A. In the denominator we are writing I by A, that we are simplifying V by L into A by I. So rho is the final equation is rho equals V by L into A by I. But V by I is equal to R. So please write V by IL as R, A written as it is, and L also written as it is. So rho is equal to R A by L, because V by I equals R. Therefore, the left hand side rho is equal to R A by L. Hence, we can write resistivity as rho, this rho into L cross multiplying divided by A. Therefore, the equation for resistance is resistance R is equal to resistivity rho into length of the conductor divided by area of cross section. We will write this equation for resistivity R as R is equal to rho L by A. This is equation 3.5e. In this slide, we have very important relationship. One is for conductivity. Conductivity is sigma equals 1 over rho. That is, conductivity is the reciprocal of resistivity. And current density equals J. Current density J equals E by rho, or J equals sigma into E. And the relationship between resistance and resistivity is given by the equation resistance R is equal to rho L by A. This is equation 3.5e. Now we have derived relationship between resistivity and resistance. Let us see the effect of temperature on the resistance, or change of rho with temperature. When temperature of a conductor increases, the number of collisions electron collisions increase due to increase in internal energy, and the relaxation time decreases. Therefore, the resistance increases. As you have seen in the previous equation, tau is in the numerator. Here also you please see tau is in the numerator. When the temperature increases, the electrons or the charge carriers gain energy and they move very fast and collide. And when they collide, the time of collision decreases. When the time of collision decreases, the resistance increases. The denominator decreases means the value increases. Therefore, the resistance increases. Here also, if you see rho is given by m over e square into n into tau. So, as tau increases, rho decreases. Whereas if tau decreases, rho increases. When the temperature increases, the drift velocity decreases and resistivity increases. The resistivity rho for most material changes with temperature T, and it is given by the equation rho minus rho naught equals rho into alpha T1 minus T naught, where rho naught is the resistivity at temperature T naught at say 0 degrees, and alpha is the coefficient of resistivity of the material. The increase in resistance is directly proportional to the increase in temperature and the original resistance. So rho is the original resistivity and alpha is the coefficient of proportionality temperature, and T1 minus T naught is the change in temperature. So this equation can also be written as R at any temperature T is given by R naught into 1 plus alpha into T, where T is the change of temperature, R naught is the initial resistance at temperature T0. Again repeating, alpha is the temperature coefficient of resistance and T is equal to T1 minus T naught, that is the change in temperature. Now we will study in detail about the temperature coefficient of resistance, that is alpha. Let R1 be the resistance at temperature T1 and R2 be the resistance at temperature T2. R2 equals R1 into 1 plus alpha into T2 minus T1. This is from this equation we can write R2 is equal to R1 into 1 plus alpha. Here we have expanded, substituted for T as T2 minus T1. The T2 is the temperature of R2 of R1 R2 and T1 is the initial temperature. Therefore, we can write R2 minus R1 equals R1 into alpha into T2 minus T1. So we have to keep alpha on one side, all other parameters on the right hand side. Therefore, alpha is equal to, retaining alpha is equal to R2 minus R1. We write here in the numerator, and in the denominator we write R1 and T2 minus T1. So the equation for temperature coefficient of resistance alpha is given by the relation alpha is equal to R2 minus R1 divided by R1 into T2 minus T1. Note, if R1 is greater than R2, that is the minus sign, here minus sign, if R1 is greater than R2, then alpha is negative. Some materials show the characteristic that when temperature increases, their resistance decreases. For them, the alpha is negative. Now repeating, resistivity rho is equal to m over e square n into tau. This is equation 3.6a. Resistance R is equal to M into L divided by E square n tau into A. So here you see the difference between resistivity and R is the factor L by A. When we multiply rho by L by A, it becomes resistance. Let this be equation 3.6b. Then we will repeat the relationship between resistance and temperature. R1 is equal to R naught into 1 plus alpha into T naught minus T1 close small bracket and close bigger bracket. This is equation 3.6c. Now temperature coefficient alpha can be written as alpha is equal to R2 minus R1 divided by R1 into T2 minus T1. That is this equation. We are writing it here again as 3.6d. So these four equations are used in numerical examples repeatedly. Please remember them. This will be helpful in solving numerical problems. There is yet another relationship between resistivity and temperature. Here we studied about the relationship between resistance and the temperature, change in temperature. Here resistivity and temperature. We simply substitute rho minus rho naught is equal to rho naught into alpha into T1 minus T naught. This is equation 3.6e. Now we will go into the details of resistivities and temperature coefficient of certain materials, which are broadly categorized as conductors, semiconductors and insulators. So the properties which we are comparing are resistivity and temperature coefficient. Metals, semiconductors and insulators. Metals are good conductors of electricity. Some of the examples of metals are silver, copper, aluminum, tungsten, iron, platinum and manganese. Their resistivity rho, that is ohm meter, is given in the third column. So for silver, the resistivity is 1.62 into 10 to the power of minus 8 and its temperature coefficient alpha is 4.1 into 10 to the power of minus 3. Similarly, other materials and other good conductors are copper. For copper it is 1.69 into 10 to the power of minus 8. So the resistivity is very low. It is of the order of 10 to the power of minus 8 for conductors. Various metals are given in this column and their temperature coefficients are given in the fourth column. These characteristics of conductors are very important while designing the electrical circuits. Then after studying conductors, we will go to semiconductors. Semiconductor examples of semiconductor are silicon, pure silicon, N-type silicon and P-type silicons. These are the three different types of semiconductors which are used in electronic circuits, and their resistive properties are shown in column 3. Silicon has got 2.5 into 10 to the power of 3. You please see and compare with silver or copper. This resistivity is very low. It is of the order of 10 to the power of minus 8 ohm meter. Whereas for silicon it is positive 10 to the power of 3, 10 cube. So here comparatively the resistivity is on higher side for semiconductors. And it does not show very much. Temperature coefficient is not that important here except for pure silicon, which is minus 70 into 10 to the power of minus 3. So here the temperature coefficient of semiconductor is very high. is very high as compared, it is 4 and this is 70. Please see here again going back to conductor, the manganese has got very low temperature coefficient. This is extensively used in incandescent lights and tungsten bulbs, manganese bulbs, where the increase in temperature should not affect the resistivity. In N-type silicon and P-type silicons, where impurities are added to the semiconductors, they show relatively medium level resistivity, that is 8.7, 2.8 and 2.5. 2.5 into 10 to the point minus 3 and minus 4 resistivity. Insulators. Glass and fused quartz are some of the examples of insulators. Their resistivity is of the order of 10 to the power of 10 into 10 to the power of 14. Whereas fused quartz also approximately 10 to the power of 16. That means the resistance of these two materials called insulators, which are very poor conductors of electricity, have very high resistance. So repeating, metals have very low resistivity, semiconductors have medium range resistivity, and insulators have very high resistivity. Temperature coefficient of resistance is important for metal conductors in designing circuits. In this section 3.8, the types of resistors and color codes. Commercially produced resistors for domestic and laboratories use are of two major types, wire-bound resistors and carbon resistors. Wire-bound resistors are low-range resistors made by winding the wires of alloy like manganese, constantine, nichrome, etc. due to insensitivity to temperature. That means their resistance does not change with increase in temperature. Resistors in the higher range are made mostly by carbon. Carbon resistors are compact, inexpensive and are used mostly in electronic circuits. Carbon resistors are small in size and hence their values are given in color codes. The color codes are embossed on the body of the resistor as rings. There are 4 rings, ring 1, ring 2, ring 3 and ring 4 as shown in the diagram below. Color in the ring 1 and 2, that is red and black in the above figure, indicate value of the resistance. The first 2 digits indicate the value of the resistance. The third ring, that is shown as green in this figure, indicates the multiplier for first 2 digits. The ring 4, that is the silver colored ring in this figure, indicates tolerance of the values. Example, let us say that the color of first ring, that is ring 1, is brown and second ring is violet and the third ring is green and fourth ring is gold. So the colors of the 4 rings are brown, violet, green and gold respectively. Let us find out what is the color code for these colors. The color codes of resistors are given in the tabular column. The first column shows color. The second column gives the corresponding number for each color. The third column shows the multiplier and the fourth column gives the tolerance. To find out the code for our example brown, violet, green and gold color, that is the first ring is brown. The code for brown color is 1. So here the first line is for brown, it is shown 1. The second color is violet, that is the color of the second ring is violet. So the code for violet color is 7. So it is 1 into 7. Brown shows 1 and violet indicates 7. Now the third ring color is multiplier. So we have to multiply these values by a multiplying factor. The multiplying factor is given in the third column. In this, the color is green. The green color shows 5. That means multiplier is 10 to the power of 5. So the value of the fourth ring is colored gold. Let us say gold. Therefore, the gold color shows 5% tolerance. So the value of this resistance in this example is brown, violet, green and gold. Brown shows code 1, that is value 1, first digit. Violet shows 7, so it is 17. The first two digits indicate 17, and the third ring shows green and its multiplying factor is 10 to the power of 5. And its tolerance because of the gold color is plus or minus 5%. Similarly, we can work out for any color combinations. For example, in this ring, we can say the first color is red. So red shows 2 and the black color shows 0. Therefore, its value is 20 and the third color here is green. The multiplying factor is 10 to the power 5. Therefore, it is 20 into 10 to the power of 5. The fourth ring here is silver colored. Silver color tolerance is 10%. So, this value becomes plus or minus 10%. To remember these codes, we can have a sentence. We can use a sentence as B.B. Roy of Great Britain has very good wife. The first color is B, black, second is brown, third is red, fourth is orange, fifth is yellow, and the next G is green, and the next B is Britain, and it has the last three are very good wife, that is violet, grey and white. So we have given color codes for the carbon resistors. We have broadly glanced through the properties of conductors, semiconductors and insulators. There are some other materials called superconductors. So conductors, ohmic conductors. Ohmic conductors are of two types. One is showing ohmic conductors, which show the characteristic curves as V versus I as a straight line. You see, this is a straight line indicating voltage is proportional to the current. So these are called ohmic conductors. Then there are certain materials which show not a straight line but a curved lines like this. That is, here it is current I versus V. Non-ohmic conductors show a curve. Not previously it was straight line, here it is a curve. This is non-ohmic conductors. Semiconductors. Semiconductors are material with few conduction electrons. In the previous case, conductors, there are a number of free electrons and positive charges or holes which are free to move and which are important for the good conductivity of electrical energy or current, good conductors of electricity, ohmic conductor. Semiconductors are materials with few conduction electrons. but can become conductors when they are doped with other atoms that contribute free electrons. That means when impurities are added to these semiconductor materials like silicon, they become conductors. Similarly, if they are heated, due to intrinsic energy, the electrons, minor carriers or electrons gain energy and move from the valence electrons to the conduction band, valence band to the conduction band. The details of semiconductors we will study in chapter 10, 11 and 12. Superconductors. Superconductors are material that lose all electrical resistance at low temperature, that is below 4 degree Kelvin. That means the resistance decreases enormously at very low temperature below 4 degree Kelvin. This phenomenon of superconductivity is of vast importance because the charge can flow through superconducting material without incurring energy loss. As we know, resistivity is responsible for the power loss. It is consuming power and we are losing powers. Whereas superconductors show very low resistance, hence there is no loss of power. Example, mercury. Mercury is a superconductor. The electrical resistance in a superconductor is almost zero. That means we can transmit electrical power for a very long distances without losing any electrical energy or electrical power. Hence, superconductors are materials that lose all electrical resistance at low temperature. With this, we come to the conclusion of lecture on current and resistivity. The next section will be 3B on Kirchhoff rules and associated topics. Thank you. Thank you very much.